background or history, we can still come together and agree on things for voters are
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
very much in nonpartisanship, but we are not used to democracy.
About voter registrations can be flawed and saveourdemocracy.org. Our citizens can register to vote and file a petition to have a direct democracy amendment on the November ballot. Direct democracy residents is directly on the laws and policy changes rather than leaving it through elected officials. The league currently has 4 chapters across the state with a 5th opening this week in Eastern Arkansas. Oscar says anyone interested can also join the national organization. She has reached out to them are most concerned about inflation and the rising cost of healthcare.
One of the things we do is send out questionnaires to all the candidates to try to get their feedback on the issues that are important to them, what their comments are, and we send those to our folks so one side, so you can your candidates in their own words.
Several workshops are planned across the state before the upcoming March primary. Foster says registered voters can receive tips on what to expect on election day. I'm Freya Ross, Arkansas News Service. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
There are kids in this country who didn't have a parent at their baseball games or recitals because their parents were serving in faraway places, but now they're coming home. A Wounded Warrior Project assists them through the Warriors to Work program.
My mom used to be a tank programmer. Now she works with computers. I'm really glad she's home because I can't eat my dad's marshmallow macaroni anymore.
To support the Warriors to Work program, contact Wounded Warrior Project at www.org. Welcome home to the ground.
Big changes are coming to food stamps and Medicaid. Benefits are being cut. Access is getting shorter. Need help? Call 646-494-6403 Go online at benefitrecipients.org. That's 646-494-6403 or benefitrecipients.org. Let's organize now. If you're eligible, these are your rights.
Hey, I just wanted to jump on for just a minute. Yes, I want to jump on for just a minute and let you know, good grand rising humans. I'm about to play a song. It's 8 minutes and 22 seconds long. I don't usually play a song that long, so I wanted to give you a heads up. For those of you who still need to get that cup of coffee ready, if you need to send that last email, if you need to finish that text, go ahead and do that if 8 minutes is too long for you to listen to a song. But that's what's about to happen right here on Community Voices. And I'll be right back after we listen to Jennifer Holliday singing Giving Up. We are coming in hot this morning with Jennifer Holliday singing Giving Up. And you know she know what she's talking about because she couldn't give up that song. She couldn't give it up. We're going to be talking about that in just a minute. But right now, let me let you know that you are listening to Community Voices right here at KABF 88.3 FM, where we are the voice of the people. And we greet you right now in the spirit of Sawubona, the spirit of oneness that binds us together by our humanity. There's nothing we can do about the fact that we are bound together by our humanity. But there is something that we can do about how we celebrate that humanity in each other, how we greet each other, how we vote, how we where we choose to eat, what we choose to buy. All of those things have something to do, say something to us. All of those things say something to us about what it means to carry the spirit of oneness and to allow it to manifest in every aspect of our lives. And so you are greeted in that spirit of oneness this morning. And because of that, everybody is free to call in. We would love to hear from you. The number is 501-433-0088. The number in studio is 501-433-0088. I also want to remind you that Community Voices is a place where we center Blackness in the context of the human story. So it is not a show about Black people only. It's a show that centers Blackness in the full scope of what it means to tell the whole story about who we are as humans, and especially about who we are in this country. And so I am glad that you are here. Toney is out today. Yes, but all I know, he's not here. He's not here. So those of you who are reaching out to him on a regular basis, you know his number, you've got his email address, you can text him. Just let him know that you're thinking about him. I'm holding him in sacred space. Join me in doing that. And then we'll hope to see him on Thursday. We'll see what happens. But I wanted to ground our conversation in this song, Given Up by Jennifer Holliday. It is true for those of you who are music connoisseurs, you know that there are several people who sing that song. And I could have chosen one of those other songs that was not so long. I absolutely could have done that. But for this particular conversation, it was imperative to me that I choose Jennifer Holliday's arrangement for the song because it helps to ground our conversation. And I do want to take a moment and talk about what she's saying in this song. I want to take a moment and just say, like, what got you so stirred up? What got you so stirred up, Jennifer? Because baby, you singing this song. That's what they call singing. She's not singing, she's singing. And so apparently Jennifer Holliday in this song is in a relationship with a man that she loves dearly. And the relationship was something that brought her great joy and happiness and pleasure and all of the things, right? She enjoyed being with him. He enjoyed being with her. They were in relationship and it was good. What the Bible say? God created and it was good. They created this relationship and it was good. And so she's singing about the fact that this man decided to leave her for whatever reason. We're not given all the information, but for whatever reason, he decided to leave. And being the strong and independent woman that she is, being the one who knows her value and her worth, being one who knows that it won't be long before she has another date. She might even have one tonight. Even though she knows all of that, there's something about this particular relationship that just met her needs on so many levels that were way down deep that she just does not want to let go of him. She knows that she can't make him love her. She knows that she's got to let him go. She knows he grown, they both grown, they got to make different decisions now, but she just don't want to. And so she's trying her best to get this message across to him. Please don't go. Don't make me give up. Don't make me give up this relationship. Because if you walk away, I don't have a choice but to give up. But if there's anything I can do, if there's anything I can say, if there's any way I can show up that will let you know just how much I want to remain in relationship with you, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to pay for it. Whatever it is, she sounds like she will do anything in order to let this man know that she just does not want to give up. She just does not want to let go. Please don't make me do it. That's what she says. Please don't make me do it. And I wanted to use this particular song because I love the way I experience the song. It's liturgical for me. So liturgical means that you're intentionally arranging things, and if you're using it in a spiritual context, like for me when I was a pulpit pastor, everything that we did was liturgical. My staff and I, we would sit down and we would talk about what the songs are going to be. What is wait a minute, the hotel said, everything that is good to you may not be good for you. Everything that is good to you may not be good for you. That's what Hotel said. He's been on the line since the music started. And so that's true. And then what else do they say? Everything that glitters isn't gold. Like that's another one of those sayings that people have. But when I was a pulpit pastor in Gulfport, I didn't do it in Greenville when I was a pastor because I didn't have a staff. So I had to do it all by myself. But I did have a staff in Gulfport. And so we would sit down and we would talk about what it means to make sure that we are liturgical in our worship. We want to make sure that everything that we do, from the beginning of the worship service to the benediction, to walking out, to the people walking out on the parking lot. Because as soon as we believed that as soon as they roll up on the parking lot, that is worship time right there. The way they are greeted, the way they are helped out of the car if they need help, all of that. And our gift of presence with them in worship extended until they drove down the street, down Courthouse Road. And so it was important to us that we make sure that however people show up, whatever it is that they're looking for, we want to offer them an opportunity to receive it. So some people want to hear the pastor preach. That's all they want to hear. So we make sure, as the pastor, I know how to do that. Some people can hear better songs, the songs that tell stories. Because when I was pastor, we didn't skip verses. You know how a lot of people in church, they'll say, okay, we just gonna sing verse 1 and 3. We didn't do that. I didn't allow that because the hymn tells a story. So if you skip a verse, then you're not hearing the whole story. And so the musician and I would talk about, okay, what song goes with the sermon, and what song goes with the sermon? What prayer am I going to pray? That's going to also be what people hear. Some people can't hear the music. They can hear the prayer, whatever it is that they can hear. If the reading of the scripture, there were different voices. I did not read the scripture. Most Sundays, I didn't read the scripture because I believed in having people, like, this is a participatory worship experience. So there were members of the church who would read the scripture. So the different voices that would read from every Sunday, like, we wanted to make sure that you receive the good news of the gospel. As United Methodists, we say the good news of the gospel is Christ has died, Christ has risen, and Christ shall come again. That was what we wanted people to experience. And we used everything we possibly could to make that happen. And so that's what I feel like about this song with Jennifer Holliday. I feel like it's liturgical because what she has done in those 8 minutes and 22 seconds to get her good news across, she's trying to get the good news to the man. Listen, Mr. Good Sir, I got that from Takia. Listen to me when I tell you, I know what kind of woman I am. I know the value I bring to your life. I know what you have done for me. I'm trying to get over this message to you that you don't want to walk away. You don't want to make me walk away. You don't want to give up on us. Please don't make me give up on us. She's given this man this message and she needs him to receive it because she wants the relationship to continue. So every weapon she has in her instrumental toolbox, she's going to use her voice. Listen, she just look at how she used her voice. She said, okay, some of y'all I know, y'all like it when somebody moans. So in the song, she moans sometimes. She groans sometimes. Sometimes she hollers at us. Sometimes she sings from her throat. It's guttural. Sometimes she just sings, nice and smooth. Sometimes she talked that thing to us. And then she said, if you can't hear the voices that I have, if you can't hear the variation in my voice, I tell you what, let the musicians play. Let me just be quiet and let the music move you. Whatever it takes for me to get this message across, that is what I am willing to do. And that is why I wanted to spend 8 minutes and 22 seconds listening to Jennifer, because I believe the good news for us today, that Jennifer is ushering us to understand, ushering us into the space, into the presence, so that we can understand is that we have to especially as Black folks, but as people in general, we have to recognize when it is time for us to let go. We have to recognize when it is time for us to give up, because whatever this relationship is, I don't care how long you've been in it. I don't care who introduced you to it. I don't care the benefits that you receive from it. There comes a time when you have to say, I got to give this thing up because it no longer serves me. So Jennifer Holliday is not thinking about she's not thinking about the fact that because this man walked out on her, even if he comes back, there's going to be a shift. So all of what you knew about him, all of what you loved about him, all of what you thought he loved about you, that's not going to be the same anymore. Because once he comes back, after you done begged him to come back, what you have done is given him power. Now he knows he can do whatever he wants to you because you ain't going nowhere, because you will allow it, because you love him so much. And that's what we do in abusive relationships. And when I say abusive relationships, I'm not just talking about the romantic relationships that we're in. I'm not just talking about intimate partner violence. I'm not talking about child abuse in the home. I'm not just talking about those things. I'm also talking about the abusive relationships that we have at the church. There are some of us that are practicing our faith in ways that no longer serve us, and we can't let go. Or we're like Jennifer, we think we can't let go. You can let go. You think you can't let go because this love that you have, because she said, my love and my faith in the man, this love that you have, this faith that you have, this hope that you have, that with this relationship, you just believe it because it's way down deep in you. Look, it's one of them moments, and Jennifer, I felt like she pulled that song, that note from her toes. Well, that's what it feels like when I'm hearing her. And so it's way down deep in us. It's embedded so far deep in us that we really don't even recognize it. Have you ever been mad at somebody? You've been mad at somebody, so you stop talking to them. You don't want to talk to them no more. And so you mad, y'all don't talk. And then all of a sudden you call them, or whoever it is, you call, and then you start talking, and then you're like, wait a minute, I don't even know why. I think I'm supposed to be mad at you. You don't even know, you don't even remember why you were mad at the person. It's been so long, but so much has happened that you don't even recognize the relationship anymore, because so many things have been built on top of it. And that brings, okay, so Lo asked the question, well, then is it really love? That's his question. Then if all of that is true, is it really love? And I'm going to say yes. If that's what you think it is, because can't nobody tell you what you feel. And that's one of the things we have to think about with the younger generations. When they tell you they love somebody, they love somebody. Now, what we do is we make the mistake of telling them, you don't know nothing about what you know about love. Well, it's true. They do not understand love on the same level that we do as adults, but they absolutely understand whatever it is that they are feeling in their bodies and in their minds and in their souls and in their spirits when it comes to their partner. So we can't dismiss whatever that is. And what we usually do is step in and be like, you ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna let you. And that makes it even worse. We have to give them space to define love for themselves in those moments. And then we are to be the guides that God created us to be. Those of you who serve as parents, me as a godparent, me as an aunt, those of us who have roles in these children's lives, and I wish everybody should have a role in some child's life. I'm just saying. Then it's up to us to help them with the boundaries. It's up to us to make sure that there's some guidance offered in these feelings that they have, because for us to totally dismiss them is not fair, and it's unjust to the love that they have. So I'm going to say yes to you, Lo. I think it really is love. That's what you believe, if that's what you believe. And I think that it is possible for you to get to the point where you realize, oh, I thought it was love, but actually it wasn't. So I believe, yes, it's love until it isn't. However long that takes until it isn't. So yes, I believe that it's love that people are experiencing. And so when I think about this song, and I'm thinking about us in this world, we are, especially as Black folks, we have entered into this relationship with, so Love says, Lo says, love to me is not one-sided. Love to me is not one-sided. Yeah, I think everybody would agree with that. It's not one-sided. It's supposed to be. Yeah, but I also want to say this. Yes, love to me is not one-sided. I absolutely think that there should be some reciprocity in the love. However, especially when I talk to my friends who are married, when I talk to them, they talk about how this balance, this kind of this life balance that you have to figure out. And people are like, no, it's 50-50. And they're like, I mean, no one that I know that is married in a healthy way. Because some people don't even talk about marriage, because I know for a fact what y'all got going on ain't healthy. So you can't tell me nothing. You got to get yourself together first. That's not true. They can tell me something, but I usually don't turn to them for guidance. And so they talk about how it's never, ever just 50-50. It's always somebody that's pulling more of the load for whatever reason. One of the partners may have decided to go back to school. So that means the other partner has to shore that person up in ways that they didn't have before, because the one that's going to school doesn't have the same amount of time as they used to. Or there may be one who gets a new job, and there's more responsibility in the new job. And so that takes them away from the house more. And so you have to end up like, you just got to make that thing work. And it's not always going to be equal, but it can work if you're working. It can work if you work it. And so I do believe that, yes, it should be reciprocal, but to think that a person is going to love you, the same way all the time, that's just not possible. And I also believe, and this is what I've had to learn in my own personal life, I've had to learn that there are people who absolutely, positively, no doubt about it, authentically love you with their whole heart. And yet, the capacity that their heart has to hold you in that space is not enough for what you need. It's not enough for what you want. It's not enough to satisfy you. And so, yes, they love you, but you still got to let them go, because it's not the kind of love that I need for my life. And so we have to take all of these things into consideration when we're talking about love. So here's, I want to read the EJI tidbit for today that I chose for today. It says on January 18th, 1771, the North Carolina General Assembly approved the disbursement of public funds to enslavers as compensation for the executions of Black people they held in bondage. On January 18th, in 1771, the North Carolina General Assembly approved the disbursement of public funds to enslavers as compensation for the executions of Black people they held in bondage. So the government says to the enslavers, we know y'all over here killing your property. You killing these people that you own as property. We know that you're doing it. And we know that it's probably a hardship on you. It's probably costing you some money, because how much were they worth? The one that you executed. I'm sure they were worth some money just in their body and the labor that you were exploited from them. Oh, and if it was a woman, oh my goodness, absolutely. You lost something because she was able to bear children. That means that you could have kept going with generations and generations of slaves. And look at how much you've lost. So we're going to put a number on your loss because you executed these slaves that you own, because it's the law. It's the law that you can own slaves, and it's the law. We make the law because we are the ones in office. We make the law that says that we're going to give you the money back. And that's in 1771. Oh, I wish I had thought about this before I came on the air, because I would have looked up the year. Somebody look up the year. But okay, so remember Haiti, when they won their freedom? They won their freedom, and they still had to pay. They had to pay reparations to the people that they freed themselves from. And then when the Civil War was over, the people who they abolished slavery. It was supposed to be abolished. The slave owners, the enslavers, got reparations for having to lose their slaves. So I'm talking about something that happened in 1771, and we can point to it in other places in our lives after 1771. And even now, I played that song not too long ago by I Am Rose, where she says, they say, why does my body, something about how much does it cost? Why is my money used for somebody else's body? So yeah, so why are you using my money? Let's think about it in this way. I can't think of I can look them up. Let's think about it this way. We talk about capital punishment. And we say, yes, we believe that the government has a right to kill us. We give them that right. And so we use money, like it's our tax dollars that pay for all of the equipment, that pays for the medication, pays for all of that for them to be able to kill the person. That's our money doing it. So their bodies cost us something. It costs everybody something. We act like it's only the government doing it, but since this is a republic that we live in, when we vote for somebody, we vote them in to represent us. So these are people that we have said, oh, it's okay for you to represent us, and these are the ideologies that they follow. And so we end up being complicit in their behavior towards humans because they are willing to kill a body because they killed a body. I don't even understand the logic behind it. That's what I said when I was to the well, she wasn't there, but the faith leaders, we were standing up against, capital punishment. They came up with this new medication, and we were up speaking against it in the press conference. And I'm like, y'all, like, what? How? It's nonsense to say because a person kills somebody, we're gonna kill them to show them that it's wrong to kill somebody. It's ludicrous. It's nonsensical. It's flapdoodle. That's that vocabulary word I taught my students because they love saying nonsense. I said, let me give you a vocabulary word for a synonym for nonsense. And so it's flapdoodle. And so we have this situation that we are living in where we still have people who live among us who are not willing to embrace the spirit of Sawubona, the spirit of oneness. And there's so many reasons why. So many reasons why. The spirit of oneness. Some of you all cannot even receive what I say because I'm a woman, and I'm crystal clear on that. And so when I used to, as a facilitator, as a contract facilitator, when I sit down for the discovery meeting for my clients, and we talk about who the audience is, you got to know your audience, who the audience is. One of the questions I always ask as part of the discovery meeting, like, am I the right person for this job? Are we going to be able to collaborate? Like, is this a project that I'm going to take on? Is this a project that you're going to, partner with me? Like, we're discovering this. One of the questions I ask is, do you think that the people in your corporation, your organization, your church, whatever it is, because I work in all spaces, do you think they can receive a message from a Black woman standing in the front of a room? That's one of the questions. Most of the time I have on a hat. Most of the time I have on a hat when I first walk into a room because I don't like the cold air or the wind or the rain on my bald head. So many times I'm not even thinking about it, I still have on my hat. And then when we get to that part of the conversation, I realize that I take my hat off. And then I say, well, let me ask the question again. Do you believe that the people that are going to be listening to me, and I'm going to be commanding the space in the room? Because when I walk in, everything shifts. The atmosphere shifts, the energy shifts, because that's who I am. And that's how I show up. I said, are they going to be able to receive from me, not just a Black woman who has the power of presence, but also one that's bald? So sometimes they would have said yes to the first question before I took my hat off. And then they're like, And so when I go back, if I am subcontracted for this work, then I have to go back to my partners and say, listen, this is what I found out. This is what we're going to do. And when we get ready to serve the client, when we get ready to accept the contract, the binding agreement, we will have made the decision about whether or not I'm going to go up front because we need the Black face up front, or we say, Denise, if they can't hear from you, we got to use somebody else because we need them to get the message. And that's what we do. We tailor it so that the person who can receive it, that needs to receive it, can receive it. I won't forget when I was a pastor. It was my first time being senior pastor. I started off as an associate pastor. I was an associate pastor at a white church. And at the white church, we wore whatever we wanted to wear to church. You could wear sandals and flip-flops. You can wear shorts, and it didn't matter. You can wear blue jeans. Didn't nobody care. And we called each other by our first names. Even the children, they would call me Miss Denise. And adults and pastors and parishioners to pastors, we all used our first name. We didn't think. And listen, this was my first time being in the church officially. This was my job, with my part-time job, because I was also a public school teacher at the time. But so this is a new space for me. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is how we roll. So when I became senior pastor, I walked in with that same practice because that's how I was oriented in my service. And so I was wearing sleeveless tops. I was wearing sandals that had my toes out. Like, I was doing all that. And I'll never forget this woman. Her name was Miss Govan. I just saw her not too long ago. Miss Govan told me one day, she said, Pastor. If she didn't say pastor, she called me doctor. I think I had just gotten my doctorate. I got it in. Yeah, I think I got it while I was still a pastor then. She said, I can't hear nothing you saying in that pulpit long as you got them pants on. She caught me off guard. Look, the old people say she knocked me off my kilt. I said, I'm sorry, what did you say? She said, I can't hear a word that come out your mouth long as you got them pants on in the pulpit. I said, I really appreciate you telling me that. Went home and I said, you know what? I'm the pastor. I'm saying this to myself. Oh, wait. Call you live on the air, KBF at 8.3. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi to you and your listeners. I'm calling, I don't know whether maybe this may not be on quite what you're talking about. They come out with all the black pictures about the black Jesus was a black man, and all the things in the Bible about, black people and the black history being put out. Now, if all these things have been hid from us as a people, which the education system, you have an understanding, have been in our favor. What would make people think that the true teaching of what they call Jesus is not coming out too, because they really haven't had it? What would make you think that you're going to continue on preaching and teaching the same book, the same way, and expect? I don't know whether people understand the energy of so fear waking us up. But most people don't even realize how Jesus really is saying, in a sense, when you really look at it. Now, the whole idea is to get you out of prison because we are in bondage here, whether we still know it. And we have to have the knowledge. So when you do leave out the body, you can transcend and go back where you originally come from. This is not really our home here for the righteous people if they understand who they really is. But if you don't get in line, you're going to go back through the cycles again, which I know Christianity don't teach them about the life cycle. Yet Jesus taught that they don't teach the people. Thank you, sir. Yes.
No worries. Thank you, caller. Let me get these comments in from Lo. Lo says, what does you being a woman have, wait a minute, knowledge is outside? What? Y'all, I got to go open the door. What is happening? I'll be right back. He said he outside. Who is? No. Who is not? He's not the one he don't get out quick. Okay. Lock the door now. Yeah, I am so sorry. That has absolutely never happened before, ever in the history of me being here. So knowledge, wait a minute. Let me just take a moment, breathe. Close that door. Yeah, close that door. Get in this seat right here, the one in front of me, so I can see you while we're talking. And then let me cut your mic on. So yeah. Cut your mic on. Where was I? So wait. Oh, so Lo says, what does you being a woman have to do with the price of tea in China? Lo, you act like you brand new today. You know what it means to live in a patriarchal society. You know what it means to be dealing with sexism. You know what it means to be dealing with genderism. Some people cannot hear, especially a woman that's leading something. And even at the black churches around here, that they'll let her talk from the side over there with the podium, but she can't get up in this pulpit and talk. No. And so that's what it has to do with. Just like this woman talking to me saying, as a pastor, as a woman, I should not be wearing pants, because we have all of this conditioning and programming in our minds, because that's the way that we have been. That's the way that we are brought up in this world. Caller, you live. Call, I think you were calling in, call me back. And so then Lo also says this. Lo says, we kill the deliverer of the message instead of receiving the message. We kill the deliverer of the message instead of receiving the message. Yes, we absolutely do. Why? Because we don't want the message. It's not that we mad at the deliverer. We really, it don't matter who it is. Because remember, it was Jesus. It doesn't matter who it is. But if you are sending us a message that requires work, that requires that we change our minds about something, then you don't want to do that work. So it's easier to get rid of the person than to say, wait, let me interrogate myself and make some changes. Caller, you're live on the air at KABF. Thanks for calling.
Yes, good morning, peace and love. This is Brother Sullivan. Now, I was thinking about racism and sexism, and I thought they say racism is number one, sexism is number two, but I was thinking that the racist man and racist woman who through the system produce the general conditions that it results in non-white males and non-white females being taught, trained, or forced into interacting with each other in a tacky, trashy, terroristic.
I'm sorry. You can call back, but I just want to make sure I'm clear. Because if I'm clear, then you don't need to call back. But it sounds like you're talking about interracial relationships, and it sounds like you're calling them tacky and trashy, and it sounds like you're calling the people who give birth to these children racist. Like, if that's the case, if I'm right in what you said, don't call back up here. But if I'm not right, call in and make it plain for us, sir. No problem. Okay, knowledge. I didn't know you was gonna be here.
Yeah. I told you I was.
No. See, I'm glad you on the air because I can pull this up right now. Let me pull it up. No. Let's talk about the last one. You said.
Not our last dinner, sis.
Now I'm talking about the dinner. I'm talking about the text after the dinner. You know what? We don't have time. We don't have time to talk about that part. Knowledge. I don't even have you on the. See, people can't even see your face. Oh my goodness. You're gonna have to come back. Wait, do y'all?
About me today.
Hold on. Do y'all remember knowledge? How long has it been? 3 years ago?
Yes, ma'am.
Been 3 years ago, we used to talk about knowledge. Knowledge was incarcerated right here in Arkansas, and he reached out to us. I don't know how y'all. We talked about that before, but anyway, knowledge was listening to KABF 88.3 FM, where we are the voice of the people. Stumbled up on Community Voices, reached out, was like, "What's up, sis?" What every time you see me, "What's up, sis? What's up, queen?" And we worked together. Then we do that. We worked together, and I said, "Look, now when you come out, you're gonna have to come on the show and let the people hear from you, because we open up a lot of conversations, but we don't close them." And so we opened up the conversation about who you were and what you were doing, and you were reaching out to us, and I'd read your words, all of that. And look at you, Black King. You did that. You survived that, and here you are right here. So I just need to give you a moment. I just need to give you the mic for a moment and just, I don't know. What do you want us to know? What do you want to tell us? Just, it's so good to see you up in this studio.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Peace, world. How y'all doing this morning? Well, I like to just ground my first thought in what you were talking about on the EJIT bid.
Okay.
1771, and the audacity of people, government, to feel that they needed to compensate people who had enslaved people who they lost through their own means, through having killed them, executed them, lynched them, whatever the tragedy that came about that ended in these Black people losing their lives. Me, at this point in my life right now, I'm working with an organization called Decarcerate.
Yeah.
So yesterday we were out canvassing the community. It was the first time that I didn't actually get to enjoy the MLK Day on the level of, getting to really just sit down and talk to people, eat things of that nature. I was working, but I was glad to be able to do that.
Sure.
So what we have here, I know you know about the new prison that the governor has been.
I know, but remember, you're not talking to me, you're talking to the listener. So for somebody who may not know, can you just give us the context?
Yeah, thank you. Once again, the government is attempting to use your tax dollars, although they say that they're not. They say it's a surplus, but we know that the surplus comes from the people and whatever funds you cut off the schools, etc., then you build this surplus. The surplus doesn't just come out of nowhere. We got this vault, y'all. We've been holding off on. Now you've been pinching, and so in Franklin County, they want to build this prison. The people in Franklin County stood up against the governor, even after the purchasing of the land. And so we're in this struggle right now, working to keep them from building another prison here in the state of Arkansas, because here in the state of Arkansas, we already know we have enough prisons. As a matter of fact, we have too many prisons. And so this is one thing that Decarcerated is focusing on at this time. However, I don't know how many of you caught this on the news, because I missed it. Come February 1st, the people who are incarcerated persons will no longer be able to purchase books. You will no longer be able to send your loved ones, your friends, books. They say it's because they found drugs in a book or two, or what have you. But we know that it doesn't take much to punish the person or correct the person that you say is doing the wrong in your system while you're doing wrong in the first place. But they tend to always use small examples of issues, molehills even, and they turn them into mountains and they put it out before the public, and they use it's the poster child idea, where, hey y'all, look what they did, and this is what we're trying to stop from happening here behind bars. We have a epidemic of people dying from drugs, etc., and it's very that part is very serious. There are people dying in prison from the use of drugs. There are people losing their minds in prison from the use of drugs.
There are also some people losing their minds because of solitary confinement.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's not put it all on the drugs.
Exactly. And so this is the thing.
Because that's probably why some people are using drugs.
Yes.
Right? Whenever we use drugs, any kind of chemical, we're trying to get through something. We're trying to survive something. It's a coping mechanism. So yeah. And so I can only imagine the environment, the conditions that they're under that would drive them to feel like they need something to help them make it through.
That's right. That's right. And even with the drugs, see, I don't want, because it's, as you said, it's bigger than that. But when you actually lose your life behind bars, then you don't have the opportunity to get out and produce something, be somebody, connect with the people that actually love you and are behind you, supporting you. These type of things, once these type of things happen, once you lose the body, you've lost the body. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to make sure that that I got this message out today, because again, it's connecting. When I heard you talking about the EJIT bit, I said, look, let me try.
You came on up here.
Try to get on in. So
that means you got to come again, right? Okay, all right. Because I'm like, what is? Okay, yes. Okay, so then give us the message about Decarcerate that you brought for us.
So on January 25th, we will be having another meeting, and we're hoping that as many people that would like to come and be present to help us out, to create a think tank, to find out who's willing to volunteer, because the power is in the numbers, especially when you are in a supermajority state like we are. We know that these moves that are being made mostly affect people of color, as far as the prison system is concerned. It will affect others as well. But a lot of times, people who don't understand that, because they're not being targeted, don't understand that later on they'll also feel the pressure as well. And so everybody who's willing and that knows that has people incarcerated, family members incarcerated, you should be concerned. Friends incarcerated, you should be concerned. Books, you're saying that these people are no longer even allowed to feed their minds. You know, feeding your mind is how you end up freeing your mind. For me specifically, this was the case. It was self-education. Because they are going to, one of the things that I know they're going to say is, well, we still have books. We have the public library in the prison. Well, the public library in the prison is not going to give you some of the things that we need to actually free ourselves mentally and spiritually as well, because there are books that are approved by the system.
Yeah, and I'm one of those ones who used to send books to the prison. I know I was sending things that were conscious, things that were, uplifting and encouraged, like all of that. So I get it. And so the meeting on the 25th is.
It'll be from 3 to 5 p.m. We will discuss the ban on books, magazines, and newspaper in prisons that is going into effect on February 1st. We will come up with an action plan to fight the ban on reading materials in prisons and stop the new prison in Franklin County. Refreshments provided. Let us know if you need a ride. The number is 479-871-0865.
Tell us the number again. And I don't think you told us the location.
The number is 479-871-0865. And it will be at 1010 West 3rd Street. That is currently the decarcerate office.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we welcome all who are concerned about because it's not going to stop here. At this time, Arkansas is the number one, has the strictest policy right now. When they made that move, they pushed themselves out as number one, as they usually do in all negative things.
The strictest policy on what?
On book bans in the prison system. And so, they started with the mail system. They started with how many pictures they would allow people to keep of their loved ones. You could have 5 pictures at a time. So imagine you were doing.
Oh my goodness, 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years. And every time you got a new picture and you had to give a new picture up.
Oh,
You
that's
had to give an old
ridiculous.
picture up. Yeah. And if they found you with more than 5 pictures, you could be written up.
Yeah, and I don't understand why when I send, because I stopped sending cards the way that I used to. I changed the way because I realized that they would copy everything you send the person. They would make a copy of it. So it was, when they got it, it was black and white, and they didn't see the colors. And so for me, especially as an artist, like that is huge to be able to see the colors of things. So I'm like, why do they have to do that? So they come up with all of this ridiculousness to continue to punish people who are already in punitive situations, right? So it's just heaping more and more punishment on people who are already behind bars. So I'm glad that you came to share this with us. I want you to tell us once again. So is Zachary Crowe still the director of Decarcerate?
Zachary Crowe is not. He had to move on, and now my brother Nazim, Kaleem Nazim, is leading the way.
Have you introduced me to him yet? I don't think I know him. I don't think I know him. Okay, so he's now the director.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to make that happen.
Yeah. So,
You look like a Black Panther. I see you here with your I wish I could have the we gotta be better prepared next time, because I want them to see you got your gold beads on, got the ankh around your neck, got the leather jacket on. I see your hats on. Look at you, got your glove with your hand fingers out. Listen, when I say Black King up here ready to throw it down, okay. So 10/13 or 13/13, 10/13.
It's January 25th.
January 25th.
2026, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at 1010
10/10.
West 3rd Street. And you can also access the parking lot as well. There's going to be enough parking for everybody. That will be Decarcerate's next meeting. And we hope to see you all there, those who are concerned. Only those who are concerned. If you feel like you really don't care, we don't want to have to
Escort you out.
Yeah, escort you out, or spend time trying to sway you.
Or we spend time you wasting our time.
Yeah,
Because most of the time when those people show up, they want to take up all the time. They want to talk the most, and all of those things.
Yeah, and let me give you an example. Yesterday while we were canvassing, I spoke with the Bells bondsman, who, now this brother, to give him credit, and I appreciate him, he was willing to sign on. And put his number down and said, hey, okay, he said, what you got here, bro? You know what I'm saying? He was kind of short, you know, everybody trying to enjoy themselves on Martin Luther King Day and everything. So I just understood. I told him what was going on. He said, well, no, I know they building too many prisons. Yeah, I'll do that. So he signed on. And then when I started talking about the book, man, he's like, well, you know, I know something about that. I'm a bail bondsman. I get the inside scoop. You know, they got drugs coming in through their books. And, you know, I looked at the brother, I told him, yeah, but if you're a bail bondsman, you also know the way the system works. And they make a mountain out of a molehill. They take one thing or a couple of situations and they use that to push their agenda, because it's always been about control. It's always been about.
Yeah, but this sounds like to me that if there are drugs in jail, in the prison, then they didn't get in there by themselves. So whoever's supposed to be doing the security, whoever's supposed to be doing the pat downs, because I know I used to wear a wig. I used to have to take my wig off because they wanted to feel all up in my head. I stopped wearing wigs. I'm like, so don't blame us for having drugs in here, because y'all let the drugs come in, just like with our whole community. How did we get drugs in America? Like, y'all brought this stuff in here, and now you're gonna blame us for being on drugs. Yeah. And
People in the mailroom not doing their
absolutely,
job.
absolutely. And then they blame it all on you. Yeah, because you have no control.
Or, you know, guards, you know, but and see, when we dealing with these issues, it's also about the effects, you know. Yeah, I can point the finger and say, you know, y'all not doing y'all job. You know, y'all bringing these in, but the effects of these people losing their lives, people losing their minds, people losing themselves. The end result is we have to be able to take accountability for the situations that we allow ourselves to be in, and us taking accountability and responsibility for standing up and freeing ourselves. If I have this drug issue, I know people are dying around me. The things that I saw, and it's just like out here in the world where people have an addiction. They like, man, I'm gonna keep on keeping on with this one here because it get me through.
Yeah, I get that. And I also, because we got to go, I also want to say this, though. When you talk about banning books, you're talking to a person, me. Oh, wait, that's what Lo said. I didn't see this. Lo said, hell, it's the guards who are running the drug trade. We just got to talk about that. It's the guards that's running the drug trade. Absolutely. But they're punishing the people who are incarcerated. But as one who grew up with books being my very best friends, they have always been my very best friends. So when you talk about the effects of drugs, for me, if you are not able to feed your mind, if you're not able to read and be transported, reading allows you to be transported to a different space. It allows you to be introduced to different kinds of people. It allows you to experience the different kind of food, because you can just taste it when you read about it. And so to me, that is just as detrimental, because you are not allowing a person to say, hey, let me make sure that I'm healing my mind through what I'm ingesting through my body, with not just food, because we know the food bad, but also with knowledge and information. And like you said, the books that they allow to read, those are not the books you need, because they're not going to help you get free, right? And so the drugs, yes, I love that you're talking about the effects of the drugs, absolutely, but the effects of not having books is just as detrimental, if you ask me. So we are at time now. You got to come back. Look, we are at time. I know some of you all were calling. This was impromptu. I love the fact that, see, this is what you get for having community radio. That knowledge, listening to the radio and saying, I need to just show up and go sit down and give a word to the people. Like, that's what we do right here at KABF 88.3 FM. We are the voice of the people. I will continue this conversation on Thursday, caller. So whoever that is has been trying to get in, write it down. Write down what you were going to say so you can make sure you say it Thursday, because we are absolutely going to get it in. Oh, and then one more thing. I just saw Lo again. He says banning books is like Nazi. Remember Nazi Germany? Because they ban books too. Your girl Lola is already in the house, ready to bring you 2 hours of jazz from this very seat. And I'm going to get her started with, she likes to start with the ladies. And I'm going to get her started with a lady, but she's also singing with a man. And so this is the duet, The Closer I Get to You, with Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack. Do not touch that dial. You don't want to miss what you're about to experience right here with your girl Lola. See y'all next time.
Peace.
Read my mind with that.